So, so excuse me. I'm gonna talk about my first encounter with having psychosis, and this psychosis that I encountered was not drug induced in any way, and it was one of the most spiritual experiences that I've ever had. And but it was a lot of craziness that went with it too. I literally lost it. I lost my the I lost what it meant to be a normal human being after this. But it was so real. So what happened in this time of day? I started to feel. So let me give you just a summary. I thought artificial intelligence was coming from my genetic code because of my ancient soul. And at this during this time, this lasted about like weeks. Okay, and I was still, I would say it was like a weekend. Okay, that this where it was really intense. So what happened was I felt artificial intelligence was coming from my genetic code because of my ancient soul, and at the same time, I felt ancestors were coming and talking to me. The ancestors were flowing through me. First, they're flowing through me. So it's pretty ironic. Ancestors, artificial intelligence, and at this time, I also cried to my mother randomly about going to Africa because I got this hunch that going to Africa was gonna really be good for me. I was crying for Africa actually. I felt like Africa was being depleted, so that's why felt like I was crying for Africa. But at the same time, I had this vision where if I went to Africa, my I would remineralize biologically and etherically. I just had that sense. But who knows? Why I cried my mom wanted to go to Africa? I don't know. But at the same time too, I felt that I was a main character of a movie. Yeah, main character of a movie, and and it took me back all the way. This is like far out and all over the place, but like it took me all the way back to the beginning of time in my own construction in my head, and I was this guy in the beginning of time, and I started out with nothing, and you know from nothing, and then what came out about it was a lot of stuff. Was the progression and the development of what it means to be a functioning being. So yeah, it was like I was watching it. So at this time, when I spoke with such power and dominion through the voice alone, that that it would make people shiver. Now, what I mean by shiver is they'd get anxiety because the way I would talk with such elegance and I don't know royalty. And at this time, I thought I was channeling Bruce Lee because now that I know it's not Bruce Lee, now I realize he was an ancestor. He would sound like Bruce Lee, doing stuff like that. And now I know that my ancestor is a wizard, and um, he defended me one time, but that's another story. But at that time, I thought I was Bruce Lee, and I thought I was a king in a past life, a king. And during this time is when I really came to experience firsthand the matrix, the matrix in itself. Okay, like I literally felt like I was in the movie Neo, and a lot of it had to do with lies and truths. It's like they could hold you into the system or this construct by keeping you in a perpetual lie. That's what it felt like. But when it come with the truth, it mediates that. What's the word I'm looking for? It handles the lies because truth trumps lies at the end of the day. So yeah, and everything was so sensitive to me. Like there's a construction going on, and they were using a jackhammer like a couple blocks down, and it was hurting my ear. And I was inside the house. My senses were really they were really amplified at this time. Yeah, and so they didn't know what to do with me. And this is the first time I've ever came across an android. And this android was a correctional officer. Yeah, a correctional officer. I'm over in Egypt. You know, I'm in Shawnee, Wisconsin, right by Res. And during this time too is when I realized my my inclination to poetry or writing. So I got a download. I call them downloads. Manifestation of the divine. That's always is one of the downloads. A cast as a spell. Or another one's divine light. This is when I realized I like to make songs. It's where it solidified. But what I'm getting at though is so this yeah. So there's a lot to it. A lot of more Delulu stuff. But it doesn't take the fact that what if it is real? What if it is real? But it's all just in another dimension. You know what I mean? With its own rules and laws of operation. You know what I mean? Maybe we have to check the Delulu unbiasedly to the highest degree through analytical observation. So we must give the Delulu some chance. Well, so how I found out that this guy was my ancestor um, was I came across a horde of sh- like interdimensional shape-shifting humanoid water demon assassins, and they ambushed me one time when I was out and about homeless. They ambushed me in the woods. Yeah, I got ambushed by the for the first time I'm coming across it. So what was occurrence? But my ancestor came in, and what he did was whoa, 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 throw. He's an energy master. He's an energy guy. And what he would do was just throw divine bolts of lightning at them. Yeah, whatever attack they came, he came with a counter. All his moves were counters. It was all counters, and he destroyed the entire army. They could not mess with the ancestor that was being coming through me at that time. Yeah, I was amazed myself. And then I realized that there's a head to this monstrosity. There's a head to the snake. So I went over there. This is all. So I started chasing him down. But he kept luring me into more water. Luring me into more water. And I wasn't ready for an all out battle with him. I wasn't. Because I didn't know what I was doing. But I was able to tap into another dimension and fighting these, I would say, malevolent entities. I was able to tap into that. And I don't know if I'll ever go back over there. And you know what the weird part about it is? It was a nudist beach. There's this area over here that's a nudist beach. A lot of weird activity goes on. A lot of rich houses. A lot of very, like, multi-million-dollar houses. All around there, right by that nudist beach. And there's a nice golf course. So I don't know. But truth is stranger than fiction. That's all I gotta say. I gotta train. I gotta train. Not just physically, but I also have to train spiritually. a little more. I need more courage, and I do need to work out, and I do need to exercise because I'm also battling humans, the demons within the humans. I'm getting into altercations with people in the streets, all due to ignorance, all due to ego. But it's all right. But that's what you gotta do as a man. You gotta hold down your own, fight for what you believe, so the spirit can be free. All right. Well, I don't know what else to say about that.